It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for Friday, the 25th of August. I'm Michael Groff. Yesterday in the valley, a high of 104 degrees, the low 79, right about where we should be for this time of year. Now, we're going to start a warm-up today and through the weekend. Temperatures in the hottest desert spots exceeding 110 degrees. What about our next chances of rain? We've got active tropics to discuss, and of course, we can give you a sneak peek of the Labor Day weekend. So let's get out there and talk about it this morning at 5:05 a.m. Mostly clear skies in the valley right now. 86 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points at 61, humidity 43%. The winds are light and the barometer is rising. Temperatures across the area this morning, upper 70s in places like Fort McDowell, Maricopa, and Buckeye. Most of us in the metro are in the low and middle 80s. Taking a look at the water vapor satellite view, drier air coming in on southwesterly winds aloft, so the humidity levels will be on the decrease, and chances of storms will be out of here for a couple of days. Obviously, you see Harvey there churning off the Texas coast. On the watch warning map, we have an air quality alert for Maricopa County. Excessive heat watches now in effect for the western part of the state, as well as southern Nevada, southern California, almost to the coast. Tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings along the Texas coast, flash flood watches, tornado watches along and north of that circulation center. Also flash flood watches parts of South Florida in association with another tropical disturbance that's been down there for the last few days. On the convective outlook, again, severe weather a risk along and north of that circulation center with Harvey. Houston with a slight risk of severe storms and the marginal risk from Corpus Christi all the way to about Port Arthur. And another slight risk zone up there, parts of South Dakota with a marginal risk for the adjacent states. Here's Harvey on the satellite this morning. Very well defined, very well organized, deep convection. Some of that already making its way onto the Texas coast from Brownsville northward up to about Houston, seeing showers and thunderstorms this morning. This is the latest advisory. Actually, this advisory, when we started recording this video, was the latest advisory. However, now maximum sustained winds with Harvey are up to 110 miles per hour. It is strengthening into a Category 3 storm. It is expected to be a major hurricane when it makes landfall. And look at the track from the Hurricane Center. This thing just is not going to be moving very much. It's just going to meander around South Texas, possibly looping offshore, possibly re-intensifying slightly. I mean, by next Wednesday, they still have this storm as a tropical storm near Houston. Unbelievable. The amount of rain that's going to be put down from this, obviously, when it makes landfall, storm surge and wind damage is going to be an issue. But the big story is going to be the rain. Let's look at the modeling on this. The tropical models on the left, the GFS ensemble on the right. Again, a lot of these models do eventually take it north, but many of them do that loop. And that's just terrible news for the middle and upper Texas coast. And let's look at some of the raw numbers. This is just the GFS raw QPF data, how much rain coming down for the next 10 days, and I've put a box up there at the maximum, over 41 inches of rain over the next 10 days. Unbelievable. Obviously a major threat to life and property, catastrophic flooding, historic levels of flooding. Perhaps many records will be broken from this, and sure, there are still questions with this, how much of this actually verifies, but this just looks unreal. All right, let's talk about our weather in more detail. We'll look at the models. Here's the GFS, the 06Z run valid at 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time today. There's Harvey nearing the Texas coast. We have high pressure in control. Generally dry weather around here today. Could there be an isolated storm somewhere over the higher terrain? I suppose. But here in the valley, mostly sunny skies. Highs 103 to 106. Humidity levels coming down just a bit, so that's the good news. Tonight, mostly clear skies, lows upper 70s to mid 80s, and then tomorrow we warm it up a couple of degrees with sunny skies, highs 105 to 109, 106 to 110 on Sunday, isolated showers and thunderstorms in eastern Arizona. See Harvey continuing to wander around South Texas, and we do have a surface front, a little short wave that's moving down the eastern periphery of this building ridge. And that's going to kind of send a backdoor cold front our direction by early next week. On Monday, evidence of that coming into New Mexico, and maybe a few showers and storms in addition here in eastern Arizona that make their way toward the south central deserts in the afternoon. So while Sunday should be dry with highs 106 to 110, Monday we're looking at maybe a couple of degrees worth of cooling, partly sunny skies, and a very slight chance of a late afternoon or evening shower or storm. Would not count on it, but certainly it's something that we'll mention. And again, Harvey kind of looping offshore and maybe coming back on the Texas coast sometime on Tuesday. Let's go ahead to that, and you see, I mean, that's just unbelievable. I don't know if I've ever seen a system do quite that in my time of observing weather. That's just crazy. Looking at around here, just partly sunny skies and a slight chance of showers and storms continue on Tuesday and Wednesday. High temperatures backing off just a bit, 103 to 107 each day. And the humidity levels might come up a bit, but I just don't see any major surges of moisture anytime soon. Harvey going to try and pull down some drier air into West Texas, and that's kind of where the winds aloft are coming from. So I just don't think we're going to have significant moisture coming back in here next week. Let's go to Thursday, and we see a tropical system developing way down south of the Baja there, and that could start to add some additional moisture into the mix. But right now, that's just way too far out there. Harvey's still over East Texas, Northeast Texas there. Here's a week from today, Friday, the 1st of September. This is the start of meteorological fall and the start of the Labor Day weekend. High pressure in control here. We've got a tropical system off of the Baja, now west of Cabo San Lucas. That's something that we were talking about yesterday. Now the GFS has it further west than it did yesterday. Let's go to Saturday. This is the 2nd of September. That's a very strong ridge across the Pacific Northwest, extending down here into the Southwest states. And tropical system continuing to move north up the Baja. And if this verifies, that's not going to affect us all that much, although some additional moisture could be added into the mix around here. But just, this isn't looking all that favorable for a big surge or push of moisture in here at all. And then here's the end of the forecast period, Sunday, the 3rd of September. Maybe just a slight chance of showers and storms, but temperatures at or above normal levels. Highs throughout much of the Labor Day weekend, if this verifies, 104 to 107. And maybe some mountain storms. All right, let's look at the numbers coming off of the GFS ensemble. And indeed, high temperatures stay pretty warm all the way into at least the early part of next week. Some indication of temperatures maybe cooling down by next weekend, depending on what happens with that tropical system and monsoon moisture. But nothing overly convincing for a big cool down anytime soon. And that's going to wrap it up for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Thanks as always so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. As always, you can click like on our videos if you like them, or you can even subscribe to us so that way whenever we post a brand new video, you'll get the notifications, we hope. Otherwise, hope you have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay cool out there. Have a great Friday.